Hey, what's up, guys? This is the Missing Linked. Join here with V Tutus, or Dustin, and Fuzzy
Hello.
Luzzy Wuzzy, or Luz, or Luzotto, whatever he prefers to be called here. And we're playing Warface as requested by Luzotto himself. Even though I should be playing Assassin's Creed at the moment. So, if you guys want some background here, I'll give it to you. Basically, Warface is a free-to-play shooter by Crytek using CryEngine 3, and it runs in your browser, which is actually quite impressive because most free-to-play games, or shooters in general, didn't even look this good, let alone run in a browser. Um, so, the basis of the game is it's class-based combat, as you can probably tell, with a bunch of weapons that you unlock through progression. And there is PvE and PvP. We are playing PvE right now. We haven't actually played the PvP yet, but we are intending to eventually. The AI is kind of wonky, and it's not the best, but it's serviceable. And considering the game is free, you can't expect too much out of it. But in case you guys didn't know, Crytek did say that the remainder of their upcoming games are most likely going to be free-to-play games because they feel like that's the way of the future. A lot of people say that now. So, essentially, you can climb around on stuff, shoot people. You're fighting weird enemies, and you can team-based combat. It's very smooth. I mean, talk about the performance here. I'll show you the graphical options and whatnot in a second if I get someone to protect me. But the game runs very smoothly. I'm running on max settings and getting over 120 frames per second. And see, there you go, 6 kills. It's like buttery. It's just buttery smooth. And Dustin and Ben here are even getting a relatively decent frame rate, and they don't have the highest end PCs. I mean, mine's only medium NPC, and PC, and I'm getting a really high frame rate because it's just a well optimized game. The mechanics are very smooth. The shooting it's satisfying and it's done well enough. You can obviously tell it's a Crytek game. So let me give you an idea of how some of the menus look. You can slide around and stuff, but as far as the menus, we have this is how you add attachments and stuff to your weapons. You do it in-game rather than through a menu before you start a mission, such as like COD or something. So that's very similar to Crisis. And the way you run around and just the way the graphical style, as well as the fact that there are mechs and other wacky things in this game, is very much reminiscent of a Crisis game. So, there's not much in the way of customization in the beginning of the game. When you create a character, you really only have a few faces to choose from and then a name. But that's alright because, you know, the game is fun and it just launched a couple days ago. So, it's got some room to improve for sure. But this is a lot to get for a free-to-play offering inside your browser at that. The animations are also very smooth and fluid. Some of the weapons don't feel quite as heavy, and there are a few little things like the shells on the side of the gun don't go anywhere for this shotgun here, but I mean, it's really just minor gripes, and overall, it's a fun game. So if Dustin or Lizotto here will actually talk on the mic, we might get an idea of what they're thinking of the game right now. I personally think it's a relatively fun game, but while I'm dead, I can take this chance to show you guys the options. So, we don't have many options in the way of graphical functionality. We really just have the anti-aliasing, vertical sync, motion blur, and then the resolution for the text for the performance anyways. So there's no frame cap or limiter, and you actually, for most PCs, I can guarantee you'll be able to run with most of these here. If not, you may not be able to run with vertical sync, but motion blur should work as well as for anti-aliasing as well. But if you have a PC like Ben's, which is a relatively low-end PC, you could still run and get a solid 30 frames or so without most of the features enabled, but keeping the resolution at a solid foundation of whatever your computer can handle, which should be the resolution of your monitor. So you can change the textures, and they don't look awfully different between actually, but I can just show you here what it looks like. I think. Yeah, there's a slight difference in the way that the game looks, but it's not anything too noticeable. So, you know, the game actually looks good as far as graphics, but it's free to play. However, that being said, seeing that it is done in the Cry engine, that does help a lot. And right now, you can see that Luzoto is taking down a boss that has some pretty derpy AI, because he just kind of follows you around and shoots you. But our other team member is down, and that would be Dustin, so we're relying on him to get us back up. Is anyone going to talk on the microphone at all? So this is just a quick little snapshot for you guys. Play this PvE mission, and then try a bit of PvP. Sorry I haven't uploaded a video in a while, guys. I've been really busy with college classes and whatnot, and I'm glad to be back for a while. Hopefully by the time I get this video out, it'll be, well, I guess it'll be today sometime. But hopefully I'll get it out. It's kind of boring talking alone here, and it's not like a whole lot of people watch, but, you know, whatever. I do it for you guys anyway, no matter how many people actually watch the video, so it's for the fun of it all. So let's just take the opportunity of watching Luzoto here to see some of the animations and the quality. So the foliage is actually relatively decent, and the game, you know, the textures are pretty good. Some of them are not as nice when you look at them close up, but given what we're getting here is relatively nice. The firing mechanics are pretty. You have a pretty good sense that you're hitting stuff. If the hit detection is a little bit off, that is sort of so. And all it really serves to do is that sometimes it feels like you're hitting a fruit rather than a person, because it just like it's like a small impact rather than the thud that you'd expect. But the gunplay itself is relatively solid. The guns fire pretty much the way you'd expect, and the sounds are decent enough. Certainly better than a lot of other free-to-play shooters I've seen, and you can obviously do a lot worse than this. The game is fun, and it is pretty addicting too. And once we get out of this menu, I'll show you guys how the free-to-play systems works and a couple other features of the game. So now that I've been revived from the magical spawning of Ben Luzoto, blah, whatever, whoever, of Luzoto actually managing to survive, caused us to respawn. So that's something, I guess. So I suppose that we could show off a bit of the functionality here as far as the gunplay. The guns have an appropriate kickback, and the reload animation looks pretty much the way you'd expect it to. I mean, within the engine it works. Sometimes the hit detection is the only thing that has a little bit of a problem, as I noted earlier, and I can show you that if I find an enemy to shoot. But you can see when you hit someone, but it doesn't always feel as impactful as you'd expect it to. However, it certainly does a lot better job than a lot of other games, so I'm not going to hit on it too much for that. And you have a scoring system for your kills, and you can slide around like Bullet Storm or something, you know, and it'll reward you for getting special stylized kills. So essentially the way that each PvE mission works is that you're going to go down and kill a bunch of enemies, fight a boss, maybe do some kind of bomb detonation, and you're going to end up here inside this chopper, and that's how it goes. There's always two parts to a mission, the first part, and then you get extracted to the second while you're being talked to by this lady that looks like Jodie Foster. And then you have knife fights. It's giving me melee kill rewards for attacking you guys. Oh, and apparently our friend Dustin here would like to be called Santa Claus because he has a gift of giving. So Santa Claus and Fuzzy Wuzzy, as Luzotto would like to be called, are helping me survive. We have to hold out in this arena for a certain amount of time to win the match. Apparently leaving the area murders you. So that's something like akin to COD or Battlefield where you can't leave the designated area. Wow, look at them. They're all just piling up. It's a conga line of death. They're all waiting for it. Their mothers didn't love them, so they're coming to the battlefield to be murdered by nameless renegades. Oh, and in case you guys didn't know, but you should know this already, I do have a website where I do reviews and stuff, and that's called Atari 720. I can link it in the box below, but 2 eyes and 720. I was going to do a video review of GTA 5 like I did for State of Decay, but I just haven't had the chance to get to it. I've been really busy, and the written review was about 10 pages, so that was long already. Come and get me. You can get me, Luzotto. I have faith in you. Thank you. Now I'm going to leave you to your death. But I will try and get to it by the time I get to the GTA Online review. I'll just incorporate it as part of that review, which is what I was intending to do in the start get-go. And right now I'm working on my Assassin's Creed 4 review as well, and I did say something about Arma 3, and yes, I will let you know I do have Arma 3 in my Steam inventory, but the reason I have not done the review for it yet is because the campaign has not been implemented, and although the game is released, I feel like it's not a complete game or a complete package until they get that out there, and it is a lot of fun. I've been playing it a good decent amount, but I'm just waiting for that, and also waiting until maybe some of my friends get the game so I can play co-op, because the game is more of a co-op game if you haven't played it before. Anyway, we're gonna have some, hopefully get some Arma 3 videos here. Maybe, our friend Santa Claus can get a copy of Arma 3 and I can play with him. And he'll mic chat, which will make it a lot more interesting. I'm not sure if they can hear you right now or not, but hopefully they can. Actually, yeah, they can, because it captures Win7 sound, which means it captures all computer noise. So, as you can see right now, we're just letting the enemies line up so we can murder them with a shotgun from a good distance away. About as realistic as it comes. I mean, we're completing challenges. I see this mission as like a grinding mission, perfect for getting challenges complete. It's called Arena. By the way, just thought I'd point it out here for you guys. As I've said before, if you have any suggestions for videos or what to do in our next videos, just let me know in the comments. If you guys want to join us to play some games, then just leave your name in the comments below, or message me a private message with your Steam accounts, in-game accounts, names, whatever for these games, and I'll make sure to add you. You could join us in some matches. Be good to see you on the games. Now, don't expect to become uber popular rock stars, because obviously not. We aren't the most popular YouTubers, but as I said, it's all for the fun of the game, and that's what it should be. So, it seems like our good friend Santa Claus has a problem. He's a medic, but he needs to heal himself. He has a fever that can only be healed by killing robotic Cybermen. And if you want to, I can start doing my announcer voice. So, as we can see, Luzotto is point-blank ranging a bunch of cyborgs and causing them to fly backwards, as he does not chat in the chat box, so we have to assume we know what he's doing. I was killed by a man that was dead, and I got revived by Luzotto, I believe. Thank you, Luzotto. You got borderline revived from the dead by someone who's half dead himself. Apparently, walking through this fire will instantly kill you because there's a magical death barrier outside the map. That's what happens when you play God in Warface. But what we don't know is outside this map, there's a bunch of astral forces waiting to put a touch of death on us so we can die forever. Because the world of Warface is actually kind of a depressing one. You can't survive in Warface unless you murder people with a knife. As so demonstrated by our friend Santa Claus here. But another thing about the game is that like I said once before, the AI is kind of derpy. As you can see, they'll just run up to you and let you slice them up. Granted, this is regular difficulty, so I can assume that on a harder difficulty, the game's AI does ramp itself up. And I get killed a lot because I'm using a knife. However, I do believe I have a good amount of kills, and somehow I still have less kills than VY Tetaspor, as we know him, Santa Claus. But everybody died, so we just failed. And now is a good, perfect time for me to show you guys the free-to-play part of this game. And yes, I know I completely just broke character there. And Fluffy Wuzzy and Santa Claus are probably not happy about it. You know that you guys can be heard if you are on the mic. Go ahead and talk. Don't be shy. They're not gonna bite you. At least, I think they... I think they won't. Unless you ask them to. And then you gotta tell them where. Sure you were. According to Lizoto, he was bitten by one of you guys. Nope. Anyway, let me just give you an idea of how the free-to-play structure of this game works. Essentially, you have progression structures. You can choose to go for the outfit, the equipment, or the weapon. Based on your level, experience, and your rate of progression, you get one of these weapons, or items, until the bar fills up. And basically, you have progress. And you can do contracts here, which will allow you to get bonuses on top of the challenges. And these are the weapons and items you will unlock through your progression. It randomly assigns one for you to unlock, and you get it for a while. I think you can also buy it as a permanent afterward for a good amount of in-game cash. I'm not sure how much it is because I haven't gotten to that point yet. I played in the beta and it wasn't like this. You also have challenges, which will unlock call signs and badges for your character. I only have one right now. As you can see, I'm probably not nearly as good as my friends here, but that's alright. So that's kind of how it works, and then you can always go and buy weapons instantly from the shop here. Buy weapons and items from the shop here, costing, some of them cost crowns, which is the official paid-for game currency. I wouldn't say how much pay-to-win it is, because I haven't seen the crown weapons be used. Only a few of them are only purchasable with crowns. Most of them are either way. You can get them, and it seems like it's pretty easy to get these guns because you get money relatively quickly in this game if you actually complete missions. And crowns can also be obtained through certain challenges. So I wouldn't say it's very pay-to-win, and, you know, if you're worried about that in the PvP aspect, there's always the PvE where it really doesn't matter in the end anyway. So you can always buy outfits and different masks and skins for your character, and buy stuff to revive you instantly with crowns, but, you know, that's all trivial stuff. It's not necessarily big. So it's not too pay-to-win. I would say it is a little bit on the paid side for certain things, but it's certainly not the worst that I've seen as far as pay-to-win. And, you know, it's rather fair, and considering you're being offered a good amount here, you don't have to play the PvP side of the game if you don't want to. It's completely optional. So you can always just play the PvE if that's what you enjoy. And a lot of people, I'm sure, are likely just to do that. Wait, there's also, I'm being told by Lizoto here to go, but there's another thing I need to show you guys is the safe house, which is a weapons testing room. In this weapons testing room, you're able to, well, weapons test, and there's a soccer ball that you can shoot around here, but that's the general idea of what you can do. So everyone needs to ready up, and we're going to get going. We're going to try this mission one last time, and after we do that, we're going to attempt a match of PvP, and that'll be it for it, you guys, because can't have these videos being too long. Oh, good. Alright, so the mission that Luzotto just chose for us is the Path, which is the Initiate mission. This is a mission that you'll be doing as soon as you essentially unlock new missions. By ranking up and completing missions for that day, you'll get the next tier of missions. And there's new missions every day, each with their own bosses to fight or objectives or whatever. In fact, one of the missions even has a mech that you get to fight. So that also lends to the reason I said it has a bit of a crisis-y type Call of Duty / feel to it. I don't know exactly how to pen it, but that's kind of the idea of what it is. And I forgot to change my class, so I am still a medic. And I'm the only medic, as Jodie Foster tells us about stealing resources. Well, actually, the story of this game, if you really want to call it a story, is apparently these Blackwood people are stealing our resources and we want them back. So you can essentially call this Crisis of Duty, the Avatar edition, by James Cameron. But, honestly, I'm running out of things to talk about as far as mechanics. I just showed you the way the free-to-play structure is in this game, so I guess I'll just talk about what's going on. What are you doing? Santa Claus, get back here. Oh, wait, sorry, that was Luzotto. You see, you can slide, and don't ever think you can't. Sorry guys, I'm just not in a very humorous mood right now. I have to move. Yeah, and don't come back, Luzotto. Show off those sliding skills to someone else. Oh, what? Fine, abandon me. I see how it is. You guys just don't care about me. Well, that's fine. And since nobody else is talking, I guess I'm going to have to narrate for them. Currently, Santa Claus is saying he wished that he had a bigger diaper, while Luzotto is saying absolutely nothing. He's always a mute. Ow. What was that for? And also, if you get hit by the riot shield, guys, you'll be knocked down and you can be protected. As you can see, it has all this stuff put in there. And honestly, if you like COD or any of those other kind of shooters, this is a good alternative for you. In fact, if they ever download it, I'm going to try and do a Blacklight Retribution show through with them. I know that game's been out a little while, but I really enjoy that game. So this is basically a preview, or first impressions of Warface. I only played the beta some beforehand, and I honestly find it quite enjoyable, especially given that it is a free-to-play shooter, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. A lot of people believe that's inherently bad, but it doesn't always mean that's a bad thing. Because right now, I mean, I'm having a lot of fun with my friends here, and, you know, it's a pretty enjoyable game. I don't know what, just climb on top of them. What Luzotto and Santa Claus here think of the game, but since they won't voice their opinions, I'll just have to assume they like it. Or they can go back to the chocolate factory from whence they came. I'll bring them there personally. So if there's any other, I think what I might do next is any other. I'm gonna ask the free-to-play master himself, Fuzzy Luzotto. Luzotto, is there any other free-to-plays coming out that we could do a first impressions of together, or that have come out, or are in like open closed beta that we can do impressions of? Oh, you know what? I just realized something. You guys like these beta impressions vids? I can keep on doing them because I have invite to Hearthstone. I've already started playing it a little bit, and it's really fun. I could show you guys some of that. the startup's a little slow, so it's actually kind of good that I've started off where I am. And maybe I can even sell Santa Claus here on the idea that a online trading card game is actually extremely addicting when it's made by Blizzard. Because anything made by Blizzard is extremely addicting, even if it's a piece of shit. Get in here. And as you see, this is how you end a game. You murder your friends. That's how you celebrate a war. Except, it seems like they only murdered me. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. Oh, and at the end of the game, something that nice little touch that should be added, but not. Since every objective has you going to the helicopter at the end of the game, I believe they should hire Arnold Schwarzenegger to say, "Get to the chopper," or in lack of better words, "Get to the chopper." Yeah, that was a pretty crappy impression, but I'm not with my game right now. Sorry, you'll have to deal with it. If you don't like it, go find someone else. I'm sure Luzotto will be happy to compromise. He'll serve your every whim. Won't you, Luzotto? And then Santa Claus will stalk you by coming into your house at night and delivering you gifts. But then he'll get gifts of his own by playing with the children in the room. Viva la Warface. You know, another idea I had. Santa Claus and I here have been playing a good amount of Civ 5, and it's a quite enjoyable game. I'm a big fan of the Civ series. It was my first game I ever played was Civ 2. I actually got it when I was 8 years old. My mom had the impression that it was an educational game, and not that it can't be used for education if you have scenarios and stuff, but yeah, it's you know. And 4X RPG strategy games hold a special place in my heart. I really like Civ, and it's one of my favorite games of all time. I love Civ 4 as the best, but the only one my friends have is Civ 5, and if you guys would like, we've been playing a lot of that recently, we could do a Civ 5 gameplay video, and at the time, hopefully I will be in a more humorous mood, and Santa Claus here will actually talk, so that one would be pretty funny, given the events that happen, like the AI being as fickle as it is in Civ games, and just, you know, barraging everybody. In fact, we were Persia and Syria in another game, Santa Claus and I were, and we got attacked by every nation in the globe because we refused one of their deal offers, and that led to what the game called the War of Global Penetration. But like I said, got plenty of people to play with, and I know a lot of you guys have been wanting me to finish my Minecraft vids, and sorry I haven't gotten to those, but it's really, really hard getting Iron Fist / Spencer to actually get on the game. He's pretty lazy, and he won't come on most of the time. He'll even publicly admit that. So I may just do those without him, but also my other guests, Kiwi hasn't been able to play anything recently, as well as Kit Kat, so I would be playing alone. So I'm sorry about that, guys. I'll get to those as soon as possible, and I hope to get those back up soon and finish those series, because I know I started on Minecraft and I can continue to do that, but I feel like I've been moving out of that stage, and with my reviews and stuff, I want to start highlighting indies more, because I have most of my games are indie games, and I really do enjoy indies, and I want to try to highlight some of those and do a bunch of free-to-play highlights since my friends like those. But seeing as 4X and RPGs are my thing, I might start going towards those a lot more, and playing more role-playing games and stuff. But I won't abandon the Minecraft vids, not at all. It's just the reviews and stuff I've been doing a lot more of, and that's what I need to try to stick to, since that's what I want to try and do for you guys, if you want it. Jeez, I'm stuttering right here. But there's that, and also, I might start developing my own game, so I'll also start posting stuff about that, and other things besides playthroughs. I have some ideas for tutorials and guides and other things like that that I want to do on the on my channel to scope a little bit. And I